In May 2023, I went on a 3-day bikepacking trip with my friend Connor to the Scottish islands of Islay and Jura in the Inner Hebrides. These islands are known for their stunning landscapes with beautiful beaches, cliffs, mountains, gravel trails, coastlines, quiet roads, farms, small towns, and of course, the picturesque whiskey distilleries dotted around the islands. Islay is the larger and the flatter of the two islands, where the landscape of Jura is dominated by a trio of mountains on its southern end known as the Paps of Jura, which is kind of funny once you find out what that name means. The islands are just 25 miles north from the Northern Irish coastline, and one of the easiest ways to get there is via a small foot passenger ferry from Ballycastle. So that's where we will start for day one, and let's go have an adventure. I'm recording, so if you feel like falling into the harbour, that would be okay. You've got actual pus on in your beard.
Of course I do.
It's still there, you've got a crumb. There we go.
I've got it.
Yeah. Good.
You really done it. You know, like some people are afraid of flying. That's how I feel about boats.
The ferry currently costs £150 return and takes about 60 minutes to make the crossing. It's a little bit bumpy there. Connor reached out and had to grab onto something.
A wee bit bumpy. It's like a fun roller coaster, except with the slight risk of drowning.
I don't like roller coasters.
I do.
I'd rather this was bumpier. Like go on a roller coaster.
No, I'd rather go on a roller coaster than this being bumpier. Welcome back, Steve. Welcome back 7 years later.
7 years.
Cheers. Yeah.
Wouldn't it be quite bad if I slipped on some seaweed and had a horrible accident 5 minutes upon landing on Islay? It's a nice place. Love mist inland, so it's going to be interesting once we get further in. But yeah, we've landed here. Do you land in a boat? I suppose you do land in a boat. Anyway, we've landed here, pitched up, weighed anchor, whatever you want to call it, at Port Ellen. And our plan is we're going to head inland, uphill a little bit, and sort of climb over the top of Islay down to Port Askeg. Probably pronouncing these names really, really badly, where we're then going to take a ferry across the Jura. Once we're on Jura, we're going to explore about a bit, try and find a good place to camp for the night. Excuse me, do you gulls know the way to Jura? Hello? Fun fact, this seaweed is bladderwrack, and this is nature's bubble wrap. So next time you're at the beach, you want to impress your friends, grab some of this bubbly seaweed, and that just hit me on the face. I literally just cleaned these glasses 5 minutes ago and now they're covered in seaweed slime. Whee! Hi, Coos! Oh. I have to say, we are quite differently. Is that your bike, Connor, that you nearly dropped in the road?
Not my bike, but I nearly dropped in the road.
If the Fussell guys are watching, Connor nearly dropped your bike on the road.
It's a gravel bike, meant to handle.
The gravel bikes can do that. Yeah, we are dressed quite differently. Connor's dressed like an actual cyclist. I'm dressed like a mercenary from Call of Duty. You look ridiculous. You should ride like that with one leg warmer off, one on. Better not leave that there. So far the drivers here are incredibly courteous. We're on single track road and these two vehicles pulled in to let us past on bikes. Off we go. Okay, if you're Scottish, can you verify something? Do cars have to give way to cyclists on single track? If it is compulsory, it's an excellent system. Ooh, coos! This one over here is the spitting image of Boris Johnson. Scottish will like that one, I hate the Conservatives. Islay is quite well known for its number of whisky distilleries, so we keep cycling past fields that are growing barley, and there'll be a sign, well, some of the fields there's a sign that says exactly what distillery they're growing the barley for. It's kind of interesting. Yes! I think I just saw a bee fly into my helmet. This is bog cotton. This is a relative of the plant that a lot of your favourite t-shirts are made from. A little cotton bud in the end. You gather enough of that, weave it, loom it, twist it, make yourself a t-shirt. Lammy, 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 lammy. We're taking, it's not quite a shortcut, it's more a fun cut. We're taking a fun cut through Dunlossa Estate. What?
You know what I've just realised? Remember I said I wasn't going to leave that banana line at the side of the road?
No! Did you?
That was my snack! That was my snack!
Did you forget that banana?
I forgot to pick up the banana. So if anybody's in Islay, there's a banana at the side of it, it'll be dead, or it'll be off by the time you get it.
Well, we're picking that up on the way back.
We're not going back that way.
You're making a detour to pick that up on the way back. That would be a much faster crossing. The less than 1 kilometre crossing from Port Askig to Jura costs $4.50 return and only takes a couple of minutes. Hello. There's the ferry, not our ferry however, we are getting this much smaller one over here, over to Jura. This is the mainland ferry, so a lot of these people here are waiting to get that bigger one and head back to mainland Scotland. But we are heading over to Jura. That is a big cannon. Hello! There's a huge number of cyclists just got off the Caledonian Ferry, because what I didn't realise was there is a huge fell race on Jura this weekend. There's over 200 runners coming to take part, and they're all going to be looking for somewhere to camp tonight, so this could be interesting. That literally took about 2 minutes.
I should be able to speak.
Woo! This is a very nice piece of road. We just spotted this small hill here, and we thought, why not? Well, I thought, let's just bring our bikes up to the top of it for no good reason, so we're going to do that. It looks like a steep back there. Best idea. It's like the size of my thumb. Can we bring Jeremy with us? Okay. Oh yeah. Woo. That smooth road feels so nice after that gravel. Ah! They're all over my legs. Yep. We've just come back from getting water and we are covered in ticks. Ticks are tiny, potentially disease-carrying, blood-sucking insects ranging between 1 millimeter to almost a centimeter in size. This is an adult female that I found on me the next morning, but the ticks that we recovered on in the campsite were tiny little baby ones. We went down to the river to get water and we've come back up. Oh my word! Right. That's like hundreds of them. Right, I have an idea. I've got them on my trousers. Ah, the tape is working. Hello. There. So thankfully only a couple of the baby ticks had time to embed themselves in it, so we were able to brush most of them off. But it does help to have a willing friend to give a little bit of assistance to remove them. Connor is dabbing ticks off the back of my shorts. There's 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68. They're still moving. Hello, give me your blood. Final tick count stands at 85. Do you know what gives me satisfaction? 52. 52. 137 ticks between the two of us. You know what gives me satisfaction? they're still alive on this tape, and I am going to burn them alive later. Connor! Hello? Look over. Come here. Jump! Just put on my evening clothes, including this t-shirt, which is made from sheep, featuring a logo of sheep, which is made up of individual sheep. It's like sheep inception.
I mean, it's alright.
This is quite the campsite. It feels like we have an entire island to ourselves. It really does.
It's pretty special.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible.
I'll give you a tour. Here's the tour of the campsite. Here is my tent. It's a tent. Here's my stuff. I just dumped everything in here. We've got the bikes here. They're locked together and they're attached to my line in the back in case, I don't know, a red deer comes down the night, decides to steal the tent. Here's Connor. Here's Connor's tent. And then, just for no reason whatsoever, there are a number of items of my clothes drying because apparently some reason I ended up in the sea, but yeah, anyway, so the sun is setting over there. I think I sat in an ant's nest and I pulled at least one ant out of my trousers and it has now bitten me, so I've got like a little stingy patch on my backside. So 100 ticks and one ant so far. And a horsefly tried to get me earlier. So there are a lot of insects on Islay. No, Jura. Did we find there were any problems? There were no ticks on Islay. It seems to be Jura's much worse. Yeah, this is what happens on an island with a population of what, 120 people? 190 people and 6,000 deer. There's a lot of blood-sucking insects everywhere. Right, while that's boiling, we're going to answer a question that I've been wondering for a long time, and that is, because I'm starting to get eaten by midges, and that is, does a thermocell work on midges? This thing, after being activated and left for 15 minutes or so, allegedly will stop insects from coming around you. It allegedly will create a 20-meter halo, which will stop insects. I'm sitting here currently and the midges are landing on my face. They're biting me. I've lit this. Apparently you need to leave it for like 10-15 minutes or so to get going. So I'm going to set that down there and we'll report back in a few minutes as to whether the thermocell is actually working or not. Thermocell is giving off smoke. I can smell it. This is about 15 minutes later now. It says you should wait maybe up to 30 minutes for it to work. See that? I'm still covered in midges. So far this is doing nothing. And we're in ideal conditions. There's no wind, so the smell should be hanging around. This is supposed to cut down all midges up to a 20-meter radius. And yeah, it's done absolutely nothing. So far, a thermocell does not work in midges. This was a waste of like 35 pounds, I think. Maybe they work in mosquitoes, but not the Scottish midgie. Right. In the event, and I think likely event, that the thermocell doesn't work, we're down on the beach, gathering some driftwood and twigs to burn in my little box stove to create some smoke to get rid of the midges. The midges know what we're up to and have followed us down to the shore.
You can barely see my head and it blends in with the...
I know, I think I've got some inside here.
Oh.
I've got this. This is my little folding titanium stove. Folds completely flat. So got my twigs. Different grades of twigs. Very well organised. Some chunky stuff over there. Some seaweed. The midges. The midges are starting to return. We thought they were gone, so we're going to get this little stove going. Maybe that'll keep them away. This dry ferns.
I'm not seeing them yet, but
I can feel them.
I can't feel them.
Come on, this stuff should burn. Oh, yes, it's super smoky as well. Embers are fry. I keep sitting on the nettles. Ah! My backside has been continually assaulted on this trip. Midges, nettles, ticks.
Even for that reason.
This tape is full of ticks, many of whom may still be alive. I just don't feel bad about this.
Stick on them here in the really hot bit.
Burn them here. Burn them on the top.
Oh, okay.
Burn them like the Wicker Man.
That's gonna go mental.
There we go.
That's that greasy.
Look at the menu for lunch.
Oh,
Read the menu of the. Ow! Fire is hot.
Oh, man.
Spotted something like coffee.
You're drinking coffee.
No, it's decaf. It is very, very quiet here. I can hear the sounds of owls in the distance. You can hear seabirds, but there's not a drop of wind, which has been to our disadvantage all night. We've been eaten alive by these midges. Tomorrow promises to be a bit windier. Plan tomorrow is a bit different. We're going to be heading off Jura back to Islay for a bit of a longer cycle, and then tomorrow we're planning finding this kind of, it's not a secret beach, but it's kind of a remote beach away on the west coast of Islay, and then we're going to plan to camp there. So I'm going to end this video here, and if you want to see if I actually wake up tomorrow morning and what happens tomorrow, you can subscribe and get the next video. But I'm going to get myself into my tent, actually I can't do this, I'm eaten alive. Yes, if you want to see what happens tomorrow, yeah, if you want to see what happens tomorrow, subscribe. There might be more insects, I'm not sure, but I'm very itchy, so I'm going to go try and get some sleep. Good morning, and welcome to day 2 of There Are Insects That Will Bite You Absolutely Everywhere. Yeah. The tent is completely full of midges. I decided to activate my thermocell in the middle of the tent, and everything's full of dead midges. My cup, there's about 10 of them floating around. I'm just going to eat them, I think, in revenge. That's interesting. The midges are leaving. I think this thing might work. In a very, very confined space. I tested this thermocell yesterday outside and it seemed to do absolutely nothing. But in the confined space of the tent, it does actually seem to be helping. There's nowhere near as many midges at the ends. Okay, so thermocell, useless for outdoors, possibly effective in a tent. Have a good poo, Connor! Connor's really desperate for a poo and doesn't want to do one in nature, so he's cycling about 15 minutes back to the ferry terminal to have a poo. How was your poo?
Inconsistent. I may have blocked the toilet. Your video.
Yes, I have video with it. So I've been wearing these the entire time. These are the Vivo Barefoot Forest Tracker shoes. I've been cycling in them and just doing whatever, and actually these boots have been a good choice. Look where we are.
Down that little campsite a bit.
Well, I'm gonna make sure it's not briny first.
That's why I went up in.
Tastes fresh.
Jet boil just to top it, or is the jet boil a little stove bit as well? The whole thing's a jet boil.
The whole thing, all comes in this.
Yeah.
It's a jet boiled stash. Yeah, it's nice because it all packs into this. Everything is starting to feel normal again. Plan today is we might explore a little bit more Jura, we'll see, but then we're going back over to Islay. We get lunch somewhere there, we're going to explore about a bit, but then this evening we're going to end up way on the west coast. The winds of Islay. The winds. Rins. The Rins of Islay, where hopefully tonight we're going to end up camping near a very nice little beach. That's the plan. Okay, there we go. All packed up, everything on the bike. If you want to actually see all the kit I've brought with me, and there's going to be a separate video about that because it takes me like 25 minutes to go through everything. But I've got 2 fork bags on the front, this bag in the bar bag here that then can elasticate my little mirrorless camera to. My GoPro will go on here. There's a quick release. Phone is on this mount. I've got a top tube bag that my 360 camera and snacks are in. Water bottle, water filter, and then my camping stuff will be back here. Sit mat, tent, tripod, all in a stack. I've got my socks attached to the tripod because they got a bit damp yesterday, and then my mid layer is on there as well. Jura's heritage, evidence of Stone Age man, colonial history. Okay, Jura's wildlife. Where is, I'm just looking, where does this say blood-sucking midges? It must be here somewhere. Here's Jura. It's actually massive. We've only got to here? No, here? Yes, there. Yeah, so we camped a bit there, and actually there's this much more of the island, so I think at some point we'll have to come back and explore a bit more of Jura. There. Toilet. And if you get here late at night, after the toilets have locked up, they have this late at night access. You just sort of crawl through there. It's very, very clever. There is our ferry, way over there, and costs the princely sum of £4.50 return. To get out of this place, there is a very horrendous hill climb. Oh, it keeps going. I thought this was the top. Well, I made it up without coming off, but it was very unpleasant. This is just such a beautiful place. An epic view. That's amazing. Actually, not epic, a spectacular view. Louise says I say epic too much. We're into unknown territory today. I think the most I've ever cycled in my life in one go is like 40 miles. And that was a long time ago. That was maybe 5-6 years ago. So today for me is just find my own pace. And because I think I've got stamina. Okay, so I just spin away. But if I try to push it too hard, I'm gonna be wrecked. So find my pace and sod whatever she's doing. I'm incredibly tired this morning. I feel very fatigued. And we're only 6.5 miles into the 30 miles we need to do today. We stopped off here because Connor wanted to visit Inner Hebrides distillery for a tour of Isla's most famous export. That was interesting and got us indoors for a bit because it is absolute dreck. Yuck, 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 yuck. It is disgusting, but lunch is only half an hour away, so everything's soaked.
Including my waterproof.
We're finally been treated to some traditional summer Scottish weather. It was nice of them to lay this on, and we get to enjoy it before lunch, which I will be having at least 2 courses. Welcome to Ballygrand, such a perfect place. Once you start and I want to stay a while. You slip off of the grass and your shoes wipe your face. Ballygrand, Ballygrand, Ballygrand is a perfect inn. It's closed.
20 minutes later.
Success. We found somewhere that's opened and I have ordered a panini, a mug of soup and a hot chocolate. And the rain has stopped again. We've got kind of soaked. Don't know if you can tell, but I've got very little energy today compared to yesterday, so hopefully lunch perks me up a bit. We've had lunch, the sun is out. We met Joel,
Hey.
who's from Switzerland. Did you bring us any Ferrero Rocher?
I know, no chocolate.
Do you own a cuckoo clock? Picked up a leaf. Right, this is where it gets interesting, because after taking the advice of an Englishman in a Scottish bar, we're going to go and try and find a hidden beach over on the west coast.
It's not a hidden beach. We're just not using the road to get there.
Shh. The internet don't know that.
Okay.
We're heading to this hidden beach. No one has been there in years. We've got no idea if we're going to get there. It's completely disconnected from the rest of I just said hospitality. What's the word I'm looking for? Humanity. Civilization. We're going to go up over a small mountain to get there. Hopefully. You got this Highland cow over here just sort of standing off to the side, acting like he's got nothing to do with the rest. Oh, what? Steady on! That way! Have you ever opened a gate before?
I am the wizard Tim. Answer me these questions 3.
Oh ho! Look at that! Wow, look at this! Look at this place! There's a sheep over there. It looks like it's sitting on top of a volcano waiting to blast off. Woo! No, there's some lambs in the middle of the road. Get out of the way, lambs! It's been unrideable. Ah! Woo! Connor has a history of cycling related injuries, so far he's upright.
You were hoping I would fall.
Yes, I was hoping. Well, not hoping. I was just sort of warning people that you have a history of falling off.
I do.
Why can't you get your feet mucky?
I don't want to get them.
Here's a campsite. And here we have the lesser spotted Connor making his tea. What's on the menu?
Pasta bolognese.
Pasta bolognese. That one's pretty nice. I've now tick-proofed my legs by tucking my trousers into my socks. Tonight I'm going to be eating orzo pasta bolognese. This is quite nice. I've had this before.
Got a photo.
Boil! Here the sun is coming out. I always boil slightly more water than I need because what it means is I can wash my spoon afterwards. Here is our little campsite. We're down here in among sand dunes in this sheltered area alongside the river, and the beach is just over there. Yeah, I definitely think cycling might open up a few more opportunities for me. There's something I've been thinking about recently quite a bit, and it's that the last few years for me had really been a lot about mountain running and trying to get up to this certain level doing that. And if I'm honest with myself, and I look back at kind of the time and the effort I put in, and also what it took for me, I'm just picked up a lot of injuries, a lot of niggles over the last couple of years. Most of those seem to be related to, you know, to kind of running on on the tougher terrain that that mountain running requires you to run on. I rolled my ankle quite a few times. I ended up with lower back issues. I had hip problems, all not necessarily mountain running actually, to be fair, but running related. And this year I've kind of stepped back from running quite a bit, and yeah, I haven't had as many injuries. I haven't had any back problems, I haven't had any hip problems, I haven't had any ankle problems since I held back. So I think, yeah, I've sort of taken, we'll call it a mountain running sabbatical. My plan is to get back into doing a little bit of mountain running, maybe towards the second half of the summer, maybe combined with camping trips. But for now, I'm just enjoying the newfound freedom that combining cycling with camping has brought me. And yeah, I hope you have been enjoying this too. And if you have, please let me know and we'll do more of these. I've always thought there is something very, very special about being on a beach after sunset. I don't know what it is, I've always loved it. I think it's the combination of the fact that everything is dark and it's now in shades of blue, and you have the sounds of the sea in the background, and you'll get maybe gulls flying overhead. It's kind of surreal. Maybe that's why I like it. But it's also incredibly peaceful. It's like the land has gone to sleep and you're kind of here to see it in its slumber, so to speak. And I can still make out, got a head torch here, I can still sort of make out land in distance over there. It hasn't disappeared yet, it's still visible. I can still see someone up on top of the sand dunes there with a light looking over. Yeah. Didn't shoot too much at the camp this evening, to be honest. Having shot an entire pitch and campsite bit yesterday, and then first thing this morning, I was just scunnered with putting the camera up and videoing setting up a tent or showing the campsites. I just thought, I'll forget about it. It's a camping video, and if I'm honest, I think that some people obsess too much about, is that light flickering? If I'm honest, I think that sometimes people can obsess. If I'm honest, I kind of think that sometimes people can obsess too much about the actual camping side of going camping, like the equipment side of things, like the tent side of going camping. Because for me, that's not what camping is about. It's not about the tent. It's not about the pitching. It's not about settling in for the night. It's about this. It's about places like this. It's about going somewhere and spending the night somewhere out in nature, somewhere beautiful, somewhere that's this amazing visual external work of art, and just getting to like spend a bit of time in it. That for me is what I love about camping. The tent and the equipment and all that, it's just, they just facilitate it. It's kind of like going on a road trip. People making videos about road trips, and they spend most of the video talking about the car that they're driving. Like, that's not the point of a road trip. The point of the road trip is where you're going. And I think that's what happens in a lot of camping videos. People get maybe a little bit obsessed over the kit and the gear and so on. And I get it, I do get it, because I like that stuff too. I'm someone that's kind of interested in products, I'm interested in gadgets, I'm interested in new things and innovations and shiny objects and well engineered stuff and clever ideas. So I do sit down and watch those videos, but if I'm honest, you buy those things, you're excited for a while, and then you're on to the next thing. It's like a never-ending stream of always, you know, trying to find a new gadget, but you don't really get bored of this. you don't really get bored of being outside. We're just wired. I think we're just designed in a way that means when we're outside, we're in nature and we kind of feel our own smallness. And we can kind of just sort of stand here as a tiny, insignificant man on this vast beach. I know anyway, it makes me very aware of, this is very deep, it makes me very aware of my own limited time here, my own mortality. These sand dunes over here will probably be here long after I'm gone. Those cliffs will be here long after I'm gone. They've been here long before me and they'll be here after. The very sand on this beach will outlive me. We're really not here that long. And I find sometimes there's something about being reminded about that fact is kind of, yeah, it's kind of good for the soul in a way. Right, I think I'm going to end this here before I waffle on philosophically for the entire evening. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this. I'm going to head back, get tucked in for the night.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done.
Oh, you know what? Sod Wim Hof. Cold water therapy. No thanks. It's freezing. This is day 3. Kind of a simple plan today. We're gonna get packed up from here and we're gonna be cycling about 20 miles around the island, stopping off a couple places, and then we'll be getting the foot ferry back to Ballycastle, back to Northern Ireland. There's Connor. Connor didn't fancy a dip. I think last time you went into cold water that I can remember, you turned actually blue. It was that river in Brashane. We camped in a field, and also the time your t-shirt was never seen again.
At the same time.
Yeah, at the same time.
I put my t-shirt down the weir to see if we could use it as a slide, and the t-shirt never came back, but we used it as a slide anyway.
Yeah. We also tried to drown Connor once. Sort of. We found this massive pallet that we put 2 blue barrels on it that we got sort of borrowed from a nearby factory. And they were I think they were tied on.
It was just it was like a raft. It was like a wee mini raft.
Yeah. It was like a 6 foot by 6 foot raft. We put Connor on it and you made us promise that we wouldn't put you out. You can't swim very well, so we immediately pushed you out into the deepest part of it.
And this was probably, right, I'm gonna say we were like, what, 13 or 14, so this is 20 years ago, and I'm still traumatized by the memory.
I can remember you had this look of panic on your face as we kept, you're like, no guys, don't, and then you just panic jumped off the pallet.
Yeah.
Which is a weird thing.
Yeah.
Because the pallet was floating. Well, what we know is, in the event you're in like a sinking, you're one of the people that immediately jumps overboard and ignores the life rafts.
Yeah.
Saw that straight into the sea. Forgot to mention this yesterday. I pitched my tent within 3-4 meters of the most deadly object in the UK, unless I've ID'd this wrong. But this, pretty sure, I'm like 90% sure, is hemlock wort, drop wort. And this is the something pointy. And this is the most toxic plant in the UK. If I was to grab a bunch of this, chop it up, eat it for a salad, I could be dead in a few hours. This stuff kills dogs. There's dogs have eaten this and been dead within an hour, like on the walk home. They've eaten something, they've eaten the roots. By the time they get back, well, they don't get back. Yeah, by the time the owner gets back, they're trilling a dead dog along in a lead. So Why'd you laugh?
I'm pretty sure the owner will not be trailing the dead dog along on a lead.
Well, okay. Yeah, don't eat this stuff. And don't let your dog chew on it. I have to have a big decision to make. I need to decide, am I going to attempt to poo here, somewhere in the sand dunes, or hold it to the distillery, which will have a toilet. How far is that?
Like a mile, 2 miles.
Okay. I gotta hold it.
But I don't know what time the distillery opens. Could be like 3 hours.
I'm like, but if I concentrate, I can get it to head
Meditate.
back.
Meditate.
Can the Wim Hof method? So at this point, a lot of people will stop watching.
We won't put that in. We probably will put that in.
Right. The little packet I didn't want to have to use. This is my poo pack. Right, let's go find a very secluded spot and traumatize some rabbits. Look at all the plants and flowers and a little snail. It's a really beautiful area. Right, which means it's a shame to do this. That should be deep enough. Right. Please don't tell anyone what you've seen here today. There we go. And in a few weeks, that patch will be slightly more greener than the rest. I'm a responsible pooper. Here comes Connor. Connor also needs to go, but he didn't bring a trowel. So the rules are 4 to 6 inches wide, depending on accuracy, and 6 to 8 inches deep, depending on quantity.
Okay.
Not sure if Connor realizes, but he wasn't squatting down quite far enough behind the grass. I got a glimpse of his backside from the car park, which means that all those people in their camper vans probably did as well. Let's just hope they're still asleep. The bad news is, for a split second I saw your ass from the car park.
Brilliant. As I stood up.
No, as you stood down, or as you went down, I kind of looked up and was like...
Must have been as I like...
Yeah.
Because the difficulty was, when I was in squatting position, I couldn't get my trousers right.
Yes, yeah, you kind of just...
So you kind of have to...
There.
Well, I know I was in somewhat of an urgent situation.
Boiling. Ow! Put my finger over the steam hole.
Wise.
And unsurprisingly, steam came out of the hole. It burned me. Hey Siri, what time is it?
It's 7:41.
Thank you. Well, this is disgusting. So, yesterday, this is where I took my drinking water from. Right here, scooped in, delicious splash of drinking water. And right there, took my water from there, right there. That is a dead, I'm not going to show it close up because it's disgusting, dead and eviscerated rabbit. Its intestines are floating in the water, bobbing in the current, and all the filth from it is washing straight where I took my drinking water. That is why you use a filter. That is disgusting. This will filter anything out. It'll filter out viruses, bacteria, heavy metals, chemicals, whatever. So if you've got a really suspicious water source, this is good for that. That water source there runs right through farmland, full of sheep, and also you never really know what chemicals may be leaching down into the river. I mean, the sea is there, so this river has as much nonsense in it as it's going to. So it's kind of, yeah, gives me the confidence to take water from wherever. It is heavy. It's a lot heavier than just using a soft flask filter, but I think it's kind of worth it to avoid possibilities of severe diarrhea on the bike. And it's just the right size that it fits in the bottle cage. Right, let's get out of here. Morning, sheep. Hi there. Whoa! This is Kilcoman Military Cemetery, and what's interesting about this place is loads of these headstones. In fact, nearly most of these headstones are of unknown sailors. There was some kind of collision, 2 boats collided, and then the bodies of a lot of the sailors washed up. At that point they weren't able to identify them, so hence that. We all die. True. Nothing like a graveyard to remind you of your own mortality. This is where Louise would spend 40 minutes looking at every single possible item in here. Speaking of which, I need to get something for Louise. No, I've decided I'm going to get for Louise. This fun crab.
She'll like it, I guess.
Louise!
Yes.
Quite a present. It's a little crab friend. Went into the cafe to get my water bottle filled up and came back with an empire. Pardon me. Trying to get pepperoni wrong. Right there, Sir Lancelot. It's the local tire pile. Very well known tourist attraction. Come here, photograph yourself with the tires. Connor's one of those people who says, you set the pace, and then rides in front of you the entire trip. The big question is though, Connor accidentally left a banana behind 2 days ago, so go see if Connor's banana is still here. Whee! Whee! What? No way! No way!
I'm not gonna eat it.
You've got the, it's not even brown. You have opened the anus end first though.
Oh, it's always the end I open.
Oh.
That way you've got a little handle.
You get the bananas anus, I always throw that bit away.
I can't put any of this in my video now because you're talking about bananas anus.
It is the little gross brown bit in the end. It's well known that's a banana's anus. My lunch has a face. Our ferry back to Ballycastle, back over to Northern Ireland, leaves in half an hour. And I hope you enjoyed this first multi-day, multi-video, first series, adventure series of videos I've done, if you've watched all 3. If you have watched all 3, by the way, actually all 4 if you include the actual kit video, thank you so much. Let me know that you have. Maybe there should be some sort of special emoji, or yeah, if you've watched them all, comment and let me know that you've watched them all, and I'll stick some kind of special emoji beside your comment to indicate that you're in the exclusive watch them all club. You know, gotta watch them all. Don't forget to check out the kit video, by the way, where I go through every bit of kit I brought on this trip, and also I'm going to show you which things I didn't use in the end, so you might find that useful. Oh yeah, and just in case you don't feel like you've had quite enough of Islay and Jura, you can check out Connor's videos over on his channel. He's done his entire own series offering his own perspective on this trip. So if you want more Islay, more Jura, lots of Connor, a little bit more of me, you can go check out his videos on his channel. I've just noticed I've got a tick embedded in the soft fleshy area on the inside of my arm. So last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Swiss Army knife, get out my tweezers, pull this tick out of my skin and drown it in the sea. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the support for all the channel members. Maybe someday I'll catch you, embed it in my inner elbow, and I'll try drowning you in the sea. Bye bye.